Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily Nicole if you guys are new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I am a 23-year-old who graduated from U of M about a year and a half ago. I moved out to Boston to pursue tech sales, and I'm still working with the same company, but I recently moved back to Michigan this past summer. So I work full-time in tech sales and make lifestyle videos here on YouTube. I'm currently doing Vlogmas, and if you guys aren't familiar, Vlogmas is basically a YouTube tradition where you upload every single day leading up until Christmas. So that's what I'm doing. Today is Vlogmas day 5, if you guys haven't been keeping up. But if you have been keeping up, thank you for coming back. Make sure that you like this video, hit the subscribe button down below, and leave a comment. And also follow me on my Instagram, which is just at EmilyNicole97, and the Nicole is with an H, and I will leave that up here. But in today's video, I sort of got inspired by a previous video I did for Vlogmas titled My 5 Things I've Learned in My Early 20s. And I briefly mentioned in that video like stuff about setting yourself up, like using your 20s as the foundation for your future. And I just wanted to piggyback off of that video. I wanted to share 5 budgeting / finance tips that I have learned so far. By no means am I like a personal finance guru. All of the stuff that I know I've either learned from my parents or just have done like personal research. I will just preface that a lot of my, I guess the way that I follow personal finance is through Dave Ramsey. If you guys aren't familiar, he's a Christian-based personal finance guru. I highly recommend looking into him. He has a podcast, he's an author, he has a lot of cool programs to help you get out of debt and plan for your future. So a lot of my tips actually kind of come from him, but I did want to just share 5 things that I've been doing that I think are super helpful. Oh, and also if the lighting is bad, I apologize. It's actually 5:30 right now, and in Michigan it's already pretty dark, so that's why the lighting is kind of funky. And just to be fully transparent, I've been super exhausted this week and just did things around the house, got some groceries, and am not filming until later tonight. But nevertheless, I was not going to miss out on Vlogmas day 5, so without further ado, let's get into the video. The first tip that I have for you guys is finances is dealing with money in any which way, whether it's how much you make, how much debt you have, whatever way you look at finances, a lot of times it's a very behavioral issue. And I think that with anything, we can develop good habits or we can develop bad habits. And if you don't have good habits with money, it's most likely not a matter of you not knowing what's right. Dave Ramsey always says, you know, this is not hard math. Like if you knew the math solution to it, you wouldn't be in debt. So if you're having trouble either saving, planning accordingly, or if you have some student loans to pay off, whatever area of finances that or maybe you're just not making enough money right now, you need to get your income up. Managing your money is very much a behavior. That's why Dave Ramsey suggests like tackling your debt by doing the baby steps, you know, tackling the small ones first to build up momentum to attack the larger debt. And even if it's not dealing with debt, spending is also a behavior. So if you don't have good habits with spending or saving money, then it's more of a psychological thing. So I think that's something to remind ourselves, is that it's not a matter if you know the math of what's right for your personal finances. It's very much a behavior-based thing, and it's a habit. And it's a habit just like anything else. So if you're eating junk food all the time, it's gonna be hard to break bad habits of wanting to go for an unhealthy snack instead of taking the time to maybe make a smoothie or something more healthy. So that's something that I just want to firstly say, is that your relationship with money is a habit. And I think that we all can do the math of what we know is right for our financial success, but the act of actually doing what's right, that's where it's challenging. You first acknowledge that's what this is, to solve a problem or to reach a certain goal. Look at it as like any other habit of your life. The second tip that I have for you guys is to save 10% of your income. I would say if you are past certain steps of putting away money in your 401k or your Roth, and you're also at the point where you don't have a ton of debt and you say you have like your emergency fund, which is essentially Dave Ramsey's idea of having $1,000 saved up in case basically an emergency comes up. But if you're at that point, save 10% of your income. So if you make $3,000 a month after you put everything away, set aside $150 every single week. So every single paycheck. So that will definitely just give you a little cushion on top of your additional savings. But everyone does it different. Everyone's income is different. There's so many different circumstances, but if you're at a good spot financially, I would definitely recommend just starting out by saving 10% of your paychecks. The third tip that I have for you guys is utilizing the envelope system. Now, this is something that I personally had not heard of up until, researching and watching some of Dave Ramsey's stuff. He talks about how you should have an envelope for each of the categories of your budget. So say you go to the grocery store, have the amount of money that you would need for the week in your envelope so that you're not tempted to overspend or dip into other areas of the budget. It really does just help you stay more organized in that sense and to really stick within what you have allocated yourself for that given category or month or week or whatever. So definitely use the envelope system and try to pay cash. So that's kind of where the idea comes from. Pay cash, especially in areas of weakness. So say, when you go to the grocery store, you're tempted to buy like expensive soaps, or maybe you're tempted to buy like a decoration or some fancy face mask, or all these little things that kind of catch our eye. And grocery stores are designed to do that. When you go shopping somewhere, there's teams of people that are working for these corporations or stores that set up things to catch your eye, certain colors, certain shelving spots. All of these different things really are designed to make you spend more money. So just be conscious of that. Use the envelope system if that's an area of weakness for you. Another tip that I have is to use the Every Dollar app. If you guys are completely lost on making a written budget, sometimes we have parents who don't even have a written budget ourselves, or we don't have financial advisors to help us coach and like make the right savings decisions and how to help us budget and plan for things. So if you guys don't have those resources at hand or those weren't given to you, I would highly, highly recommend the Every Dollar app. Again, it's by Dave Ramsey. I feel like I'm promoting him in this video, but literally use the Every Dollar app. It will show you, it will allow you to insert your income, and then you will literally track every single dollar that you have to spend, and you will put it in a category to create your budget. So by the end of your budget, you will have $0 to spend, and that's not saying that you'll have no money to spend at all. It just means that every single dollar of your income has a spot in a category. So I think that it's probably the most easiest way. Like for me, with my budgets, I've kind of failed with using Excel. It's kind of messy, and I definitely use the app now to keep my budget organized, and also using the envelope system in areas of weakness for me personally. So I definitely highly recommend that. It will keep you organized. And another tip that I have for you guys is that your budget is going to be adjusted, and I think that's something that was just never taught to me. At least this is something that I'm still working on, is because when I first started, I would make a budget and then I would be like, wait, but I forgot about, like, this month is my mom's birthday, so I have to spend money here, and then you just don't end up planning right. Or the holidays are a great example. Like, say you are, it's December and you didn't factor in that you're gonna have to buy like holiday presents. So that's something to consider, is that you are going to be updating your monthly budget, and on top of that, you may need to adjust your weekly budget, and I highly suggest doing both. And I think it's what we typically see, or what I've typically seen, is that, okay, we're gonna have a monthly budget, this is how much I make and this is what I'm gonna spend. Well, it's not quite that simple, and every month there's gonna be some variables where things are gonna have to be readjusted, and that's something that you're gonna have to make the habit to continually do. The last tip that I have, which I think is so fitting for this video, is budget for holidays. And I think that the holidays are a great time. It's amazing to give, and especially give back to your community, to people you love. I don't think there's anything wrong with the season of giving. I think it's great. But I do think that you need to plan accordingly for it. So what I actually did was I used my Every Dollar app, and I allocated how much I would need to spend for gifts this month. And before I even put it in my Every Dollar app, I did end up using Excel, and what I did was I already had an idea of the gifts that I wanted for my family. So say I have my mom and my dad, my brother Mitch, and my grandma. Okay, that's 5 people. So I wrote each of their names down, and I went online and found the exact price of what it would cost to buy that gift. So once I added everything up, I knew an exact amount that I would need to allocate in my budget. It's so easy to do that now. I mean, if you want to go to the store or, you know, like brick and mortar shops, I think that's great, support local. But if you can at least have a rough idea of how much the gifts will cost, you can have a better idea of how much you want to allocate to that part of your budget. And I think that the holidays are definitely a tempting time to want to dip in other areas of your budget, to get disorganized, because our spending does tend to increase in the month of December and even November, because it's leading up to the holidays. You know, holidays, there's advertisements increase, influencers are pushing more products, so definitely just make sure that you're still staying organized and sticking within your budget. So those were the tips that I had for you guys. I hope they were helpful in some sort of way. Definitely just stay organized and just do your best to create better habits with money. If you guys enjoy these kind of budget lifestyle videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button down below, and leave a comment of what you guys want to see next. And until tomorrow, I will see you guys in Vlogmas day 6. Bye guys.